Do you take photos as much as you used to? Because I know that I certainly don't. I used to always be one of those guys at parties that would have like cameras that I would take out and take lots of photos. These were like digital, and I think I had an analog camera before that as well. But yeah, I was kind of one of those losers who used to have cameras at parties and stuff, and this was obviously before smartphones and things. And as much as people were kind of maybe like, stay at this guy, I'm very thankful that I did it, because I have all these amazing photos of when like me and my friends were like pre-2008 or 9, I guess. So anyway, I've always taken photos, but I definitely have noticed over the last, 5 years, I guess, that I don't take nearly as many as I used to. And I was kind of thinking about that, and I've seen a lot more of these, hipsters cutting about with like vintage cameras, I guess. And I was like, oh, maybe that would help me take photos again. And lo and behold, I have this guy. Now, this is actually my dad's old camera, and he gave me a box full of his old camera kit a few years ago, and I didn't really do much with it. There was a couple of like cool things which I gave to my cousin, and but I kept the rest. And I guess I wasn't really that like fussed about the automatic cameras. So there's this one, which is a Nikon L35 autofocus, and then there's also this Vivitar one, which I can't read backwards. It's a Vivitar D535. Wow. So I was like, I'm gonna test these out because I want to start taking photos again. I've always grown up around photos. My dad was a keen photographer when he was younger, going as far as to even develop his own photos. We had this wall in the kitchen which was like full of these black and white photos of like my dad when he was much younger and had hair like me now. I guess we actually kind of look pretty similar, although he's definitely much more Indian looking than me. So anyway, yeah, I've always had photos around and printed photos, more importantly. So I thought using an automatic like point and click might be a good way to get me to start taking photos. So anyway, I thought rather than me going out and buying one of the new ones, I'll use one of my dad's old ones. Now, I haven't been able to get this one to work again, but this one, despite having totally corroded batteries inside, I took them out, got them all scraped and all the contacts scraped and stuff, and then put in new batteries and it works. So the interesting thing is that it already has a film in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go about, take some photos, and I can wear it like this and be like, oh yes, I'm a photographer, and snap away. And then once I've filled up the roll, I'll take it and see if I can get them developed, see if the photos will look any good, and see what is on the original film. Because I think that there's about like 19-20 years since it's been used. So that is what's happening. I'm going to fill up the film roll with photos, obviously, and then get them developed, and adventure and interest will ensue. Okay. All right. So I filled up the roll, and I'm now going to take it to Snappy Snaps on Barrage Road and see if they can advise about the best way to get it developed, and whether the first photos, the original ones on it, are going to be like able to be recovered. Otherwise, I'll just get some nice photos of like recent stuff and like family things over the last few weeks, and I've been like using it again. But hopefully I can get it in a way that all the photos can be developed. However, considering that the film is probably like, I think like 20 years old, I think they might not be very good. I'm not sure. I'm gonna find out. Alright, that's me just dropped off the film. Turned out to be pretty easy. He just unloaded it and that was it. Although it's weird because I took like 26 photos, but it was a 24 image film thing. Anyway, he said that there might be some discoloration and there might be some like weird hues and stuff on it depending, but it should be fine. So I'm excited to see what kind of photos come through. Bye! So a few days ago, dropped off the camera. Everything seemed to be pretty good in terms of the guy didn't seem totally freaked out that it was an old film, and just maybe that some of the photos would be a bit discoloured. So now I'm on my way to go and pick up the film and check out if any of the photos have turned out alright. It's sort of like this kind of rubbish mystery of like this mystery film and this mystery camera, but it's not really a mystery because I know my dad took the photos and I have a rough idea of when it was taken. I'm estimating about 20 years ago. I should have probably picked them up a few days ago, but I literally just forgot. That is how committed I am to making these videos. So anyway, gonna go down. Hopefully they'll turn out well, and stay tuned for more. Alright, got these photos. Gonna now check out if they are alright. Oh! Fucking hell, this is hard to do with one hand. Oh! Would you look at that? Alright, so it's definitely not the same day as when I got the photos developed. So it's a few days later, and I've got the photos back, and it is 100% not what I was expecting. I kind of thought I knew what the photos were going to be. Like, I kept saying that they were my dad's photos. It is his camera, so it seemed pretty logical that it would be his photos. But when I got them, they were not. They were actually photos of my mum, a couple from in the house, but then also from this office that my mum and her partner Alexis had rented. So that kind of gave a good estimation of like when these photos were from, and I'm very pleased to say that I was 100% right, that it was actually 20 years ago. That was worked out because the office was, well, they got it in like 1999, and there's no dog in the photo who was got in 2000, and yeah, it seems like from the photos this is like the beginning of when they got the office. So my mum is a dance teacher, and at that time they were putting on nights in Havana, which was, well, it's obviously a country, but it was a club in Glasgow. Well, it's obviously a country. And they had started renting this office because my mum mainly worked from home, so they wanted to kind of have their own space. And yeah, so you can see it's like there's like not much furniture, a lot of inflatable furniture, which definitely was a thing at some point. I was just thinking about the other day about whatever happened to all the good old inflatable furniture. I think they should bring it back. I was trying to still work out why my mum would have had the camera. I'm guessing she just borrowed it. She might have been taking it to do some like promo stuff for her dance classes. It seems weird that she would have borrowed the camera to take photos of the office to then not get them developed. So what I'm guessing is that they took a roll, got them developed, forgot they had another roll in the camera, gave the camera back to my dad, and then that pretty much just sat in a box for 20 years. And then my dad gave it to me, and I have then taken my own photos next. It's, I guess, like with these things, you kind of always want this, like these amazing photos and to discover something like really special. I did a video where I found a GoPro, and the video was pretty bad because basically like there wasn't anything really interesting on the camera. And with this, the photos aren't that amazing, but it is this kind of nice little snapshot of a time just when things were kind of taking off for dancing. It's like way before La Bodega, way before all the other stuff that my mum and Alexis went on to do. It's really early on in their relationship. It's just quite like a nice little like snapshot. And what's also cool is that the photos that I took then later on, 20 years later, were from my mum's birthday. Now, Alexis should have been in one of the photos, but it just wasn't working when we were trying to do like a big group photo. But yeah, it's kind of like nice, like I've got this roll of film that is of the same person but like 20 years apart. Anyway, I find that quite nice, and the rest of the photos and stuff were okay on the camera that I took. A bit degraded as I thought, so I'm not really sure now whether the reason that the pictures are quite like fuzzy and noisy and stuff is because the film chemicals had like degraded a little bit, or whether that's just because of the quality of the camera. I reckon it's a bit of both. I did notice that there's quite a few scratches on the lens, and I don't have a cover for it, so that's probably, you know, part of that problem as well. But yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like a fun little experiment, and what's good is I have another camera with exactly the same thing. So the other one is like a Vivitar point and click automatic camera. I haven't been able to get that sorted out in terms of like turning it on. Same problem, batteries were dead corroded in it, took them out, new batteries in, still isn't working. But there is a roll of film in it, and there have been photos taken, so the mystery cameras continue. So that'll be maybe the next video. Basically the exact same thing, just with a different camera. Fucking hell, this fucking sucks. I hate my life.